We've got some big injury news out of the NFL.
Oh, no way. It's something that nobody is talking about.
J.J. McCarthy's going to undergo knee surgery.
Yeah, which sucks. I'm not trying to make light of it, but my phone, as I'm getting ready to leave the house this morning, was mert. It's like, okay, guys, I get it. The rookie quarterback who's not starting for the Minnesota Vikings got hurt. It was just everywhere.
That's a really good point. And again, he got injured, and a big portion, if not all of his rookie season,
it's probably gone.
is in jeopardy right now because,
and again, it sucks. It sucks a lot.
Awful. It's awful for J.J. McCarthy. It's awful for the Vikings, and nobody likes that news at all. Another awful thing is very rarely does your phone get that many alerts. I don't know why everybody kind of pushed out these alerts like they did, but it was honestly the last time that my phone was getting alerts like that, like I did today with JJ McCarthy. I mean, it was ESPN, it was Bleacher Report, it was CBS Sports, all of the push notifications. It was like when that idiot tried to shoot at Trump.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, seriously.
That was the last time. It's the JJ McCarthy news does not warrant that sort of response from every major outlet.
Folks, I get it. It's the middle of August and it's a barren desert of content.
Yeah.
But for the love of God, JJ McCarthy, it's okay.
And look, a meniscus, this is an injury too where, the Vikings even said it. We don't know the severity of it until we kind of get in there, right? We don't know if they're going to try to pull a Philadelphia 76ers and say everything but a flap in there. But with a meniscus, he said he was feeling some discomfort. They went and they did some imaging on it, and they were like, all right, yeah, we're going to have to go in and repair this thing. It obviously is a downer because of how good he looked in that first preseason game.
Yeah, he did.
He was efficient. He got the ball out quick, and he threw for a lot of yards. I think 188 yards or something like that. And you sit there and you have to look at it, though, from the perspective of Viking fans, and what the expectation was heading into this was, no, Sam Darnold was going to be the guy to start the first few weeks of the regular season anyway. I just hope it doesn't, stunt any of the growth from J.J. McCarthy, and getting reps are so valuable, especially when you're a quarterback, and especially with just the timing and the speed ramp up of the NFL.
The thing for me is, it's not full blessing in disguise, because anytime you shred your knee, meniscus or otherwise, it's not good. You're not getting better. It's not helping. But I'm pretty parked on this island. I don't think unless you're the number one pick and you're so overwhelmingly ready that as a rookie quarterback you should start. I just don't. I think we've seen this time and time again when guys sit for a year or two. It is infinitely better for them. Yeah. I honestly, I can't think of an instance where a franchise drafted a quarterback that they knew was going to be an heir apparent.
Boy.
That they sat for a year purposely, at least, and it didn't work out.
I had gone through this before, and it is pretty... It was actually more even than I thought. But guys that did sit for a year, there was a lot of them that you're like, oh, so the best quarterbacks ever. Everybody wants to point to Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is an outlier in that.
And he also was terrible in some instances, but also showed the flashes while also getting murdered.
He has the NFL record for interceptions as a rookie. But guys like Joe Burrow, he went out, he got injured because the offensive line was so bad his rookie year, And I agree. I always like having a guy sit, maybe not even for the full season, but a chunk of that season. Let them get their bearings. Let them figure out what it's like to be a pro, and then you start getting those reps. But the reps in practice are what has helped every single one of those guys. That competition, the speed. If you're a backup quarterback, you're also in a position where you're going up against your number one defense in a lot of instances in practices. Not all the time. If you're going live, they'll throw the third string guy out there because you never want your backup to get hurt. That's a terrible thing for you to have happen. But you're looking at, whether it's Skelly in your 7-on-7 or, a lot of the thud sessions, you'll have your number 2 is in there going up against the first team defense. Okay, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. And you just get to digest everything and see the mistakes somebody else makes in the NFL and learn and grow from that.
You have to ultimately learn from your own, but I think it's particularly at the quarterback position. Look, if everyone's like, well, what about C.J. Stroud? Yes, there are exceptions to the rule. But also, I think it was one of those things where with Stroud, I think with Caleb this year, when you look at with Andrew Luck, like you look at these guys and you go, yeah, no, they come in. Hell, Russell Wilson in Seattle, like when you just know, and the guy is just so far ahead of the curve, you're like, okay, cool, we can go down that path, we can figure that out. But for the most part, 90+% of these guys aren't ready.
Yeah, and McCarthy is an interesting one though, because you also have a wealth of talent surrounding him that he could thrive as a rookie. But as it is, I don't think that this is detrimental to J.J. McCarthy, his growth, or what he'll be as a pro. It is a bummer for Minnesota Viking fans. The injury that I thought was, in all honesty, I thought it was more significant, is Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit. Running back for the Detroit Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, he was diagnosed with a hamstring strain.
Those are notoriously go away very quickly.
But this is the bigger issue with Jahmyr Gibbs is that this isn't just like an initial hamstring strain. He had a hamstring injury on June 5th during OTAs. He wasn't cleared to return until July 27th, and now you have a hamstring injury yet again. That I think that is a more notable injury for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations this year in Detroit. And I think it's safe to say, like, look, this is a team that went to the NFC Championship game a year ago. They won the NFC North last year. They have everything that it takes to be a very good football team this year. And a lot of those guys return. A lot of those pieces are back this year. Jahmyr Gibbs going down, that's brutal, man. And I just go back to, there was an article done early in the offseason about Christian Watson of the Green Bay Packers, wide receiver. And he had a history of hamstring injuries. So he ended up taking part in approaching the University of Wisconsin and being a part of a study of, all right, how can we train our bodies to strengthen our hamstrings and start avoiding these soft tissue injuries that linger and affect you for a really long time? And he changed diet, changed training regimen, everything to try and keep his hamstrings healthy. And I think that study, as it goes on longer and longer, and as they get more guys involved in it, that could be a game changer in every sport, not just in the NFL. But when you have your hamstring, dude, that's your gas and your brakes.
Yeah, I mean, you see hamstring in NBA, NFL, you just go, they're done for 2 months.
Not good.
It's just for all of the I love hearing a coach. Oh no, we'll kind of see where he's at and we'll test things out. It's like the history of hamstrings shows us it's 2 months, and if you try to do anything, it's gonna linger and linger and linger and linger. Like that's just I don't know why we haven't gone somewhere different with that. And I know with the study and what they're trying to do treatment wise, they are finally starting to do things differently in that regard. But there's always like this, well, I can just treat it and we'll just deal with it as it goes. And it's like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
When hamstrings go, you're done.
I mean, the good thing for Detroit, you do have David Montgomery still, but I think that is a
Gibbs is what makes him special.
A 1-2 punch and the explosiveness that you can have out of the backfield with Jahmyr Gibbs. That's gonna be a shot for the Detroit Lions. So not good on the injury front, but it is that time of year.
Yeah,
this is where
this is the attrition rate that sets the table for the NFL season.
No doubt about it.
There's always a handful, dozen or so injuries that they end up defining the season.
Have I ever told you the War of Nutrition story?
No.
So in high school, we had a coach that came in and he was talking about, big game. He's like, it's a war of attrition. and kept saying, war of attrition, war of attrition. He walked out, and one of our linemen goes, did he just say it's a war of nutrition? Didn't know what nutrition was or attrition was.
I love an offensive lineman.
He was all about a war, the war of nutrition.
He's just like, am I supposed to eat a banana?
Yeah, give me my orange peels now. I got this war of nutrition that I got to battle here.
My God, that's tremendous stuff. Tremendous stuff. Never change.
Yeah. That's one of those ones that some pregame speeches stick with you. That one is one for all the wrong reasons.
For a million other reasons.
Yeah, that was great. But it is a war of attrition and nutrition.
And nutrition, too. I mean, make sure you eat your bananas.
Are you stupid or something?
No, he wasn't. Yeah.
Bananas keep you from cramping.
No.
This sounds like real-life Billy Bob, if we're being honest. A tan!
All right. I won't say names. No names are going to be named here. I'm not going to do it. That's not who I am. It's not where I'm going to go.